listen, I have no business ordering a catalog like this. A move would not be for several years into the future, and a luxury greenhouse may not be in the cards. But you know what? A girl can dream. Looking through it, because why not? So I don't know what it is, but I feel horrible right now. I've taken COVID tests, all of which have come back negative. But I don't know if it's flu or what, but fever, cold chills, the works. So I basically just for the past few days have been laying on the couch, sleeping, trying to stay warm, taking baths because I'm just freezing all the time. I don't feel like eating, which really sucks. Because, like, I'm mentally hungry, you know, like, my body is sending signals that I'm hungry, but then the second that I, like, go to find something to eat, absolutely nothing sounds appealing except fruit. My body is just craving fruit. So, right now, that's what I have. A bowl full of strawberries, grapes, and some crackers. So, yeah, that's what I'm having right now, and I've just been watching YouTube, and luckily my job, they're, like, super understanding about it, and have just let me, you know, kind of like take a few days, go to my meetings, watch my chat essentially, and just kind of rest so I can get better. But yeah, this really, really sucks and hope it passes soon. It's been 2 days of, or three, actually, 4, 3 or 4. Either 3 or 4 days of this nonstop. I'm ready for it to be over. This is the most perfect man. Not that one over there. This one.
Michael Scott's the most perfect man?
No, that's Dwight. You are the most perfect man. He's offering to make me cookies. You will have to excuse my somewhat sick and nasally voice, but look at all of these gorgeous plants. They've recovered beautifully. I don't think I really lost anything that was out here, which is fantastic. The ranunculus are looking so lush. Anemones I always have some trouble with. I didn't have quite as much germination with the anemones as I did my ranunculus, but so it goes. Yeah, they're looking really good, and the sweet peas are looking fantastic. They have a lot of apical dominance right now, which means they're not branching at the base like they normally should be. So I'm just going to take a little pair of snips and just like snip out the top so that they start getting bushier. It's really about time to plant the sweet peas, honestly, and the anemones and ranunculus. I feel like I could probably plant this stuff out at the weekend. I'm kind of just watching the weather because, as I'm sure most of you know, we've had a lot of very cold weather in the past few days in the 20s, and I really don't want to subject it to that, so it's just kind of watching the weather. And look at all these new Iris reticulata. This is a variety called Pauline. They're so beautiful. These do perennialize, which is exciting, so they'll come back year after year. And then a lot of tulips and narcissus coming up, narcissus daffodils. I love this pink edge foliage on these tulips. I don't know which varieties these are, kind of like mixed. I had a slight plan of what would go where so I can refer, but I'm not sure like which one exactly until it starts blooming. It may be like the salmon parrot variety, I don't know, but that foliage is so cool. I love that. So yeah, it's the status right now. The roses seem to have done just fine. They're all still alive, all shooting. Even the one right there that I was a little worried about, it looks like it's starting to bud up on some of the branches, the canes. Yeah, everything is looking really good. These daffodils are so close. I'm thinking this one might be an early cheer. It like has several little flowers on it. So I'm really excited to see that. And a lot of the seeds that I sowed are popping up everywhere. Where's the, yeah, you can really see, like, I kind of sow in swaths and like, you know, circular motions to kind of mimic nature. So much green. Definitely going to leave my greenhouse door open for the day to let the fresh air in. And then I need to start thinking about my sweet pea supports today because I'm going to be planting those out soon. So Need to think of an obelisk, or if I want to do, oh, sweet pea wall would be really cool. We'll see. Reporting live from the House of COVID.
It's
So
like the House of Blues, but with less COVID.
and more blues. So yeah, we got COVID. It sucks. It's confirmed today though. Andrew's test today came back positive, so I'm not going to bother taking another at-home test because I'm sure that that's what I've had the past few days. Luckily, I'm starting to feel better now, but you are starting to feel worse, it seems. Yeah. We're making only a 4-course menu this time. I say we, and I actually mean Andrew. Andrew's cooked all of this. So lazy. I can't believe we're not making 5 courses tonight.
I know.
Ugh. So tonight we're making, oh look, it's rice on a stovetop, you guys. The real way, not boil in a bag anymore. So much shade for that.
I did not know you could put it in the microwave.
Yes, you can put rice in the microwave, in fact. But I'm just saying because people were giving me shade for putting rice in the boil in a bag ones. And people were like, well, you can cook it in a microwave. And I was like, yeah, that's never really worked for me either. But yes, successfully cooking some rice. We have a Mediterranean chicken. It's like olives, lemon, chicken, garlic. What else?
Olive oil, rosemary, ground fennel seed.
That looks delicious.
There's something else I can't remember.
We've roasted some vegetables. And then we're also making a dupe of a dish that we had while we were in Chicago. It was really good. It was like a carrot pureed thing.
With wild rice. And,
Feta. Happy Saturday from me and my croissant here in the House of COVID. Hey, it's not for you. Andrew is painting. I'm feeling so much better than I was feeling for the past 3 days. It was horrible. Yeah, fevers all the time, cold all the time. It was the worst, but I'm glad to be feeling on the mend and feeling up to doing some crafting today. So I think I'm gonna work on my top. Basically just the usual stuff that we do when we're at home on the weekend. Man, this was good. Bless you. Man, this was delicious. We ordered, well, not we, just me. Andrew doesn't really like it for some reason, but I love this place called the French Tart in Brooklyn. So I ordered a croissant and a sandwich for later from them. Seedlings are doing well. Literally 2 days after I posted the vlog, they had already started sprouting and germinating. Cosmos are so fast to grow from seeds. So if that was the one that had to go, I'm happy it was that one. Most of the other things seem to be doing okay. I did lose a few things like the honeywort, aka Corinth Major. I did lose that, which was kind of a bummer because those seeds were pretty expensive for how many you get in the packet. But I do have a few that I had already potted up and were in my greenhouse, so I didn't lose the entire thing. I still have 3 plants, so at least I'll see them this year. Most things that were in the greenhouse survived just fine. Like everything that was in the greenhouse was totally okay. I'm thinking about moving even more of my plants out to the greenhouse because they're just doing better out there. I think it's the combo of the fresh air. They get more like real sunlight. This is a great solution, like an amazing solution for an indoor seed starting setup, but you just can't, you know, replace real nature. So I'm probably gonna move a lot of those outside today. I'm still working on my Elisabetta Frenchie dupe top using McCall's 8141. I haven't made any progress since the last time I showed you guys anything. I still have just the one sleeve attached for now, and I'm gonna be working on attaching the second sleeve today. I also have my last batch of seeds that I need to get sowing. I can still hold off on these easily for another week because it's mostly my zinnias, which are very much a warm weather crop. You would not, zinnias tolerate 0 frost. If they get a touch of frost, then they will die. So it's fine if I wait to start those a little bit because our last frost in Brooklyn isn't until April 5th, but of course there's a chance it could still happen after that, but that's generally when the last frost date is April 5th, which we are quickly coming upon, but we just had 20s, you know, last week, so I don't want to be too hasty with it. And normally I don't even sow my zinnias until midsummer, but I, like I said, want to grow them for the wedding, so I'm going to do the indoor seed starting this time. So I could push it another week or two easily before I do that. So yeah, but anyway, so I'm going to sow some seeds probably later today, work on my top, and just generally do all the quarantine things. Andrew is working on some more miniature painting right now. He finished his still life. It's kind of got glare right now because of the window, but there it is. Didn't it turn out amazing? Later tonight I'll show you close-ups of it when the light from the window isn't so strong and you can see little bits of it, but I think it turned out so nicely. And there's a hidden theme in it. I'll show you guys close-ups of the paintings and maybe you can guess what the theme, or like that, not the theme, but like the hidden element of many of the objects in here. What? What? Is this your vlog now? Have you decided what you're gonna do for your next still life yet?
Yeah, I got a mock-up in Photoshop and I ordered canvas because we are on lockdown. I can't go to the store. So I ordered from Blick because Blick is amazing.
Yeah, Blick is such a great art supply store. I feel like every time we go there, we just have the best experience. Their customer service is so good. The people who work there are so nice and friendly and helpful, and they just stock really good quality, but also like a wide range, like affordable stuff and nice quality stuff. While I'm thinking about it, it'll be too late by the time this video goes live, but many of you are probably familiar with Jamie Beck's gorgeous photography work. I became obsessed with her during the pandemic. She was such a huge source of inspiration for me, still is. She's retiring her isolation creation series of posters tomorrow. And I have this one right here. I have a big one of the white one, a small one of the white one, and then a few other pieces, but these are the only two that are officially part of the isolation creation series. And I know she was always planning on retiring the isolation creation series, so it's kind of cool that I'll have something that's like a piece of, I don't know, COVID, but in a different way. You know, I just feel like she was such a force for good in helping, you know, give me structure in my day. Like I watched her posts every day. Here, let me turn the camera on. I watched her isolation creation posts every single day. It influenced my own work so much. I sewed so many dresses inspired by her wardrobe, and it just gave me this like creative passion during the pandemic when, you know, we were in lockdown and couldn't go anywhere. And yeah, so I just thought it was cool now to have like this piece of history in a way. She's still going to be making new work and everything, and she has a book that's coming out in the fall, which I've already pre-ordered so fast. I cannot wait to read it. I am such a Jamie Beck fangirl. Like, I have this calendar that this is old now, but yeah, so I just love all of her work, and I'm excited to have had some of her pieces. I'm debating on whether or not I want to order any more of the prints before they are retired forever tomorrow. There's no space in this house, but you know, someday down the line, if we have more space, then I would love to have more of her work in my house. But another part of me also feels like I should just stick with the two that I have because those were the ones that spoke to me the most, or the ones that I liked the most aesthetically for my house, like color-wise. And it's just like very representative of a time and place, so I'm hesitant to get another one. There's so many other ones that I loved though, so that's why I'm like kind of on the fence. I'll probably get another one. is in. That one went off without a hitch. I think it's looking really cute so far. The sleeves are longer right now than they are in the top. I just cut out the pattern piece as I had it, but I'll be cutting them shorter. I just need to like probably put it on my dress form to get an even cut for that, or measure and cut. I just have to do some experimenting. I'm not exactly sure how that part's gonna work yet. So here's a little preview. The neckline gets gathered into a collar. That's how long the sleeves are right now. They'll need to be like up here. So they're like super too long. So yeah, we'll see. So this is kind of the progress. It doesn't look like much right now, I know. I'm about to sew in the lining, which I kind of had to work out in my brain to sandwich it without doing like a sleeve lining. So I'm gonna be doing this like off the cuff to try to figure out how to sew this lining in. I'll probably have to hand sew a lot of it. To be honest, I actually do not mind hand sewing. I've grown to really appreciate little bits of it here and there, especially right now because I've gotten into this really hard thing where I don't have this like slew of projects waiting after this for me to decide. Like I have plenty of materials, but I have a hard time deciding what I want my next project to be. As we're moving into spring and summer, that really is where my heart is in terms of the kinds of projects I love to sew. Like you guys know me, flirty dresses, just dresses, summery tops. Winter is not really my season for the kinds of clothes I like to wear. So I get really stumped on what to make next in this kind of time, especially when I'm out of the practice of sewing regularly and just crafting regularly, which I haven't been for the past few months. So as I'm easing back into it, I like to try to take my time a lot more now because A, the clothes turn out better, and B, I just don't know what I want to work on next, and it's agony trying to figure out what to do next, which is just such a weird thing for me because normally I have so much like a backlog of inspiration, but I think because I'm not exactly sure what my style is at the moment, like I'm kind of figuring it out, but it's evolved a little bit. I just don't know what pieces I want to add to my wardrobe, if that makes sense, or like what's going to work with the stuff I have, but then I don't love everything I have. So it's just kind of this dance of what I want to make next and figuring that out. So some hand sewing is perfect for me to like marinate on that next project, whatever that will be. So I'm looking forward to that. If I have hand sewing, I'll have to see as I get to it. I'm still kind of just like thinking through attaching this lining. Here's a first little look at the top, not finished yet, but I put in the neckline like that. And then the back is gonna be, like we mentioned, an open back. I still have to put a waistband on it so it'll have a tie in the back, so it'll be an open back. And then the sleeves will be cut shorter like the inspiration top. So I think it is really coming together. It is looking a lot like my inspo. It's looking like baggy and not cute now, but really these like, you know, kind of last steps of the pattern, there's still a little ways to go and I have a lot of hand sewing to do on the inside of it, but it's definitely looking like my inspo top and I'm really excited about it. So here's all the hand sewing I have to do. I'm going to hand sew the back of the collar down on top. And then, see, this is where I got a little bit confused when I was in my pattern hacking ways. So because I'm making this an open back top, the pattern was designed with a slit in it, but it's still just like, I don't know, it was confusing to me. I was trying to like sandwich the sleeve between the layers of the front and the lining, but really the only way to kind of encase the sleeve seam right there is if I like tack this, if I stitch it down by hand. So I'm going to turn it under and hand stitch that so that the alternative would be I could just use my serger and serge around the edge, but I think it'll be a nicer finish if I really make that nice and clean in there. So that's what I'm going to do. And like I said, I don't have another project in mind yet, for after this, so I'm taking my time to work on this one. So I'm going to tackle that hand sewing first before I move on to other steps, and then after that it will be a matter of adding the closure up at the neck back here, and then adding the waistband piece, which will have a big bow at the back. And then, oh, and then I have to figure out the sleeves. I'm gonna be such a nervous wreck when it comes to cutting these sleeves because it has to be perfect. They're too big and voluminous for the top. They kind of like overwhelm the top, I think, in their current size. So I definitely do wanna make them shorter, like my inspiration, but it's just gonna be a challenge to think about cutting this out in three-dimensional space and like the angle of the hem and all that. So I'm a little bit nervous to tackle that part. So I definitely will not get all of this done today, but next steps are going to be to hand sew on the couch with my love. I also have to give a quick shout out to Emily for this absolutely beautiful needle book. She cross-stitched this for me and made this for me. I love that she signed it too, in 2020 for my birthday, and it has my birthday on it, my initials, and then this flower right here with these little like daisies. I'm guessing this is a rose. I'm not exactly sure. It could be a myriad of flowers. Either way, I love it. It's so beautiful, and I just keep all of my needles in it. Isn't that so cool? Oh, and these ones are for like if I travel to my parents' house in Tennessee, there's a sewing machine there and I want to bring a sewing project, then I have a bunch of different needle sizes handy, so I can pack this instead of, you know, a bunch of different stuff. So anyway, this is just a little shout out to Emily because I treasure this piece so much. It sits out and about. I see it every day, and yeah, I love it. Cross stitch is something that I am such an appreciator of, just needlework in general like that. But my eyesight is so bad, like really bad, like -9, almost -10. So it's just, my eyesight is so bad. I can't do cross stitch. I just, yeah. And also it's the same situation for me when it comes to color work patterns. I love the aesthetic, but reading the charts is just such a strain for me that it makes the process completely not enjoyable. So I can't enjoy the process of cross stitch, but I'm such an appreciator of it. So I'm so grateful forever that Emily made that for me, and have so much jealousy for all of you cross stitchers out there. Not that I don't have enough projects to do myself. Are you helping? We're currently making our first ever grocery delivery order. We've never had groceries delivered ever before. So placing that order, consulting some of our favorite cookbooks for our meal plan this week, we decided on chicken and dumpling soup, a chipotle chicken recipe from the Oaxaca cookbook, and a ragu that I want to make on Friday. I'm really excited about our menu. And I'm going to be making, of course, some other stuff for lunch and deviled eggs for breakfast as per usual. Sounds like it's going to be a good menu. And Andrew is currently taking on the task of learning how to make amazing cold brew. So as you guys know, if you've been following me for any length of time, I drink cold brew all year round. And I experimented in the past with making it myself. I even worked in coffee shops all through college. I know how to make it. But whenever I'm making it on a small, like one-person scale, as opposed to like a restaurant quantity amounts, which I would never do for myself, it just doesn't taste good when I make it for like a small batch for myself. So I must have something off with the ratios, and it's not from lack of trying. I mean, I attempted a lot of different recipes, still could not find one that I thought duped like actual good cold brew. And I really want to figure it out because we must go through like 2 or 3, at least 2, if not 3 of the cartons of like Stoke a week, and that's a lot of plastic waste. So hoping that if we can crack the cold brew code, that we can eliminate 3 cartons a week of plastic. That would be amazing. Every little bit helps, right? Coming for some fresh air out in the greenhouse. Things are coming along nicely. I decided to go ahead and bring out 2 more trays of my seedlings outside just because I feel like the greenhouse results speak for themselves. Getting this greenhouse was a bit of a risk because I'm in between 2 tall buildings. It is a south-facing garden, which is ideal for full sun, but when you're in a city, you have to contend with other buildings. There are also trees right here, so in seed sowing time, this gets so much natural light, which is perfect. And then later on, it gets a lot of shade because the wisteria that's here grows in and it's very leafy, so yeah. But yeah, I feel like the results of the greenhouse are speaking for themselves. Like I said, the foliage of everything is looking so lush, everything is growing so like strong and stocky, and I just could not be happier with the results of the stuff that are in here. I pinched my sweet peas yesterday, have the anemones, ranunculus, all the same stuff as usual, and then brought 2 more trays out. This will start looking a lot better, I feel, once it's been out here for a little while. This tray looked exactly like this one a couple weeks ago, and look at it now. It just looks so much better. So I think everything will just be happier outside where it belongs. Again, not to say like if there's anything wrong with an indoor setup. I love having it and I will definitely still use it, but just I'm so happy that I got it. In case you're interested, the greenhouse model I got is called the Palrum Harmony, and I got mine at a box store. I got it at Home Depot. So yeah, it was a pain to put together. Oh my gosh. Ugh, it's gonna take you it takes a long time to put it together, and the instructions are not very thorough, but results are worth it. And all of this to look forward to for my spring bulbs. I just dug up and replanted my Bathsheba rose right here because it wasn't planted deeply enough. So once I had firmed it and watered it in the first time before we went to Chicago, the soil really settled down around it and the bud union was sitting above the soil level, so I had to replant that one deeper. But the others are looking good. That one probably could use a little more soil around it. That one's teasing Georgia. I cannot wait. I don't want to like spoil it, but I know what a lot of these are gonna be. These are gonna be like a swath of like yellow and dark purple tulips over here. And this one I can't remember a lot. This has like some parrot tulip, like Black Hero and Black Parrot, Salmon Parrot, Rococo are over there. These names probably don't mean anything to a lot of you, but it will make more sense, I suppose, as they start blooming, and I'll show you, of course, when that happens. Still not sure if I'm gonna keep that fig tree or not. I'll definitely keep the planter, but I'm not sure about keeping the tree. It just isn't really part of the aesthetic, but I hate to give up a tree. I'm sure somebody will want it in Brooklyn. I'm just really looking forward to what's to come this season. I have so many great plants coming my way. I have a clematis coming. It's a Jack Manny clematis. It's a purple one, like bright purple. Grasses, of course. I love like prairie style planting and purple schemes and purple apricots and like some dashes of like hot pink and red here and there. Kind of like my granny stripe blanket project, actually. It's like lots of neutrals and then pops of things. It's about 5:30. I've been a very busy, productive bee in the Black House garden today, so I made this adorable structure, which I think unfortunately looks better from the back side than it does from the front. This is inspired by Sarah Raven and Grace Alexander. These are 2 gardeners that I follow on Instagram, and I've read their books and I just love their gardening aesthetic. But this is going to be one of the trellises for my sweet peas. I also got some netting to put around it so that they have like something to climb more easily. That's not the only structure I'm going to make for sweet peas though. I have to make more because I have tons of plants in there. But yeah, I think it turned out really cute. It took me a long time to make it, like a full-on 30 minutes to an hour probably, but I think it was worth it. It'll be there all year, so yeah, it's pretty. And then once I'm finished growing sweet peas on it, I can do like black-eyed Susan vines or cup and saucer vines or something like that. And then I cleaned the front of the greenhouse. I had a bunch of sticks right there, which I used for the trellis. And then I had 4 burlap bags full of leaves that I was gonna save to make leaf mold. Leaf mold is gonna turn into compost after about a year of sitting and being wet and in the elements. But to be honest, this is a small urban garden. I want to make compost and I want to make leaf mold, but there just isn't the space in this garden. So I've decided to give it up and put it in the compost, like the city compost, for now, because I just don't have the space to hold it. Plus I'm going to be having like 2 pots on either side of the greenhouse, so I need to make space for that. But you know, live and you learn. Someday. And then I think I've mentioned this before, but the bricks, they needed sand in between them to knit them together. I've already laid them like a long time ago, but I never put sand in them, so I started laying sand in this part of the path up here. I still have this part of the path to do, and the plant porch, as I call it. This is the plant porch. So I have those areas to do, but it's a slow process and it takes a while. It's, yeah, kind of strenuous on the back too, to be sweeping in all that sand. So I'm gonna save the rest of that for another day. And yeah, I'm really pleased with everything I got done out here. It just looks nice and it feels good to be out here and breathing in the fresh air and hanging out with the plants and putting effort into the space. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching it develop. Morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. It is a day for house puttering, garden puttering, crafting, all of the same stuff that we do every other day of the week. I've done a quick blitz of the kitchen, and then I started looking through this cookbook that was given to us, and I originally wrote it off as, this is not the cookbook for us because it just seemed like it had a lot of ingredients that were not easy to find, which is always kind of a red flag for us. But then I dug into it and like started like, okay, I'm about to put this out in the curb for free, but maybe I should give it one last look to make sure. And I started looking through it and oh my gosh, I was so wrong about this cookbook, so much to the point that I think we're going to do an entire week of cooking recipes from this cookbook, not this coming week because we've already planned our meals, but maybe the week after. It looks amazing. It's a restaurant cookbook actually. The restaurant is called Estella and it's in New York City, or there is one in New York City. I'm not sure if the original is, but I really want to go now. So Andrew and I are gonna have to make a reservation, but we're gonna try to cook from this cookbook. It looks really, really good. A lot of interesting like flavor combos that are up our street. It's like mixing a lot of bitter, but with fats. Like there's a lot of oil, like infused oils, but then like kind of more bitter vegetables and then some like seafood flavors in it. It's a very seafood heavy cookbook, which is not typically my thing. I don't usually like seafood, but yeah, I can't explain. A lot of the stuff in here looks really good, but the photography of it seemed kind of cold. It kind of just turned me off a little bit at first, but once I read the recipes, looked amazing. So I'm really excited about this one. I have assembled my seed starting supplies to sow the rest of the seeds that I'll need for this season. Unfortunately, I'm out of the 72 cell, the smaller ones. All I have left are these larger ones, but luckily zinnias actually require a lot more space anyway, and they grow pretty quickly, so I think this will work out for them. Let's get started. Our grocery order arrived. We don't normally shop at Whole Foods, so.
Yeah, this is a one-time thing because we have COVID and we don't have
Right. Ooh, grapes. I don't like that they wrap everything in all this mini plastic, though.
Yeah, it seems excessive.
Yeah, like literally everything when there's plastic already. That's so dumb. What a waste. Yes.
I like that I can see the dill.
Yeah. Just had a delivery of a couple things that I've ordered. I bought this little basket. Let me show you. To put in this drawer that we use just for like bread, snacks. It looks crazy in here, but it is somewhat organized. But we needed something to put things like onions and garlic into to kind of contain it so that it could still breathe but not be like strewn about the drawer. And I think the basket is really cute actually, so wanted to share that. And then I also got a new ironing board cover. I think the last time that I replaced my ironing board cover was, I don't know, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago maybe. And sometimes it's one of those things that just gets so bad slowly over time that I just don't think about it. And there's like no padding left on this now because I use it so much. So I needed a new one. Just finished watching Spencer on Hulu. I wanted to see that movie so badly when it was in theaters, and now after watching it, I'm so glad I didn't waste the money. That movie was weird, really weird. It's I have such a reputation in my family for picking really weird movies, and this is one of those times when I'm so glad that my mom wasn't here, and I'd be like, oh, let's watch this movie, this sounds good, and then it's really weird. This is one of those. Yeah, I don't know that I recommend that one. Hello, I'm back in the craft room working on my top. I got the neckband hand stitched last night on the inside of it. I didn't get to the sleeves yet, and I'm thinking about just serging the edges and not hand sewing all of it. Don't judge me. I'm currently cutting out the waistband, or about to start, and trimming off the selvage edge right now. And because it's gonna have a tie on the back, I referred to a tie that I already have in my wardrobe that has a length that I like. So it needs to be 72 inches long to have enough to like tie the bow. And I want it to be a finished width or height of 3 inches. So I'm gonna cut 7-inch strips so that I can fold that in half and then attach the raw edge to the top, or to the bottom of the top. So that's what I'm doing right now, cutting out this waistband. I hope you guys are having a lovely evening or day, whenever you're watching this. Having my first kind of try on. I think it's looking so cute. Oh, I love it. So right now I just have the sleeve folded up in here to give a sense of what it will look like. Here's how it looks long, and I know a lot of you are gonna say, leave it long, I like it long, but I like the shorter sleeve, so I'm gonna do a shorter sleeve. What, Andrew?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
What?
I didn't say anything.
This is what I refer to as a man repeller top. Kind of top that I could tell when I started this is not gonna be an Andrew top. And that's okay.
I like it, but I just think the neck is very tall.
Yes, I know. That's why I call it my man repeller top. But the back of it is so cute. Oh, I love it. I think it's gonna be so adorable when it's done. I loved the inspiration, and I like this now. I don't really wear a lot of turtleneck stuff, to be honest. I wouldn't say it's the most comfortable thing. I just have it clipped for now back here. So I don't really go for them very much in general. I like more like scoop or low neck stuff, but I still like it. And I think it's just such a fashion-y top. It's gonna be great with like skinny jeans and like a jean jacket, and like, yeah, that's the vibe. I love it. All right, looking at the neckline now, I think it needed to be just a little bit shorter. I think it was too tall, just a little too tall. So I'm gonna reduce it by 1/2 inch. I really think I can just fold it under and call it a day and stitch it down on along the top. I'm not that fussed about it, it's not uncomfortable. And then I'm gonna overlap the neck about 1 inch up here. And then I just have to finish off the ties on the edge right here up to where they meet the top at the back, and then cut and hem the sleeves, and then I'm done. Still a lot left to do. Guys, I took a risk that paid off. So this week I wanted to go shopping for a dress to wear to Andrew's sister's wedding, which is next weekend, but of course I'm in quarantine right now, so I couldn't. I ordered one dress online, and this is the one, and it looks perfect, I think. A perfect wedding dress guest look. So I'm really excited about it. It comes with this belt. I don't love the belt that comes with it, actually. I'll probably just switch this out for like another belt that I have. But this with some heels, I think this will look perfect. I can't believe how lucky I got. So, so cute. Don't mind Andrew painting in the background over there. Yeah. He's starting another still life. What are you painting right now? A pot? A teapot?
Teapot.
Teapot. Got a skull, wine glass, bowl of fruit, a crab. He kept the crab.
I'm keeping the crab.
Oh my. Oh, that was funny.
I'm an idiot.
Andrew's making drugs.
Yes, I got the stuff to make cold brew with La Cologne in a...
Here, you can have your child's glass.
Enjoy your swimming pool.
It is just an elevated,
Right.
classy glass.
Uh-huh.
Good morning. Isn't it a beautiful day?
I'm tired.
Andrew is not a morning person, and I am a lark. So I get my best thinking, work, happiest, feel my best in the morning.
People, I have not had coffee yet. It is a situation.
So we're taking a walk in Prospect Park today, and it's so beautiful outside. I've been wanting to do this for ages.
I can't open my eyes.
In Prospect Park in the mornings, it's off-leash hours. I don't know if it's everywhere in the park, but it's definitely in this part of the park, so the dogs can be off-leash and go wild, and I love it because it's just so cute. They're so happy and running around, and